What if your customers are trying to find your business online, but instead of finding you, they find your competitors? Now, more than ever, it's time to make sure you have the right SEO to make your business stand out online. Welcome to Go Mind Your Business with Terry Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for you right now. Extreme Marketing Concepts, helping you drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition. And now, here's Terry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Go Mind Your Business on All Your Business Radio, part of the Talkwad Network. Today, it's great to have my guest here. Today, I'm with Bob Nixon of Nixon Construction. Welcome, Bob.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure to have you on our program today, Bob. Today's show is brought to you by Extreme Marketing Concepts, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for you right now. So let me talk to you a little bit about my guest, Bob, today. Bob is a local remodeler in the area, and he's actually was the 2011 Tampa Bay's Builder of the Year Award. Is that correct? Remodeler of the Year Award. So great remodeler that we have on our show today, and it's really a pleasure to have him. He's been servicing the Tampa Bay area since 1981. They provide all types of remodeling services, including kitchen and bath renovations, additions, accessibility, and universal design modifications. He's a green certified home improvement specialist, and he's an EPA certified lead renovator. Again, Bob, welcome to our program today.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Bob, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your business?
Well, I'm a native of Tampa, and I've been in the construction industry for over 40 years. Uh-huh. I was a building inspector and worked for home builders. And once I started my business, I've been doing exclusively remodeling. I'm a licensed builder, but I focus on remodeling. That's what I have a passion for. So.
Terrific. So what kind of certifications do you hold as a remodeler?
Well, I'm a NARI, which is a National Association of Remodeling Industry, which is a remodelers organization. They have a kitchen and bath certification, and I went through that. It's basically a 12-week program, about 50 hours total with a test. So it's certainly very, very in-depth, which is not always the case with certification. So. I also have a green builder certification. That's through the National Association of Home Builders, and a CAP certification, which is Certificate of Design and Building for Renovations for Accessible Living, which is Certified Area Aging in Place Specialist. Okay.
Well, that's cool. So anybody just can't go ahead and hang a shingle and say they're a contractor. There's certain trainings and things that people should have before they go and just go out there and start remodeling Tampa Bay.
Well, first of all, they should have a license, and they don't necessarily have to have a builder's license, but they should have some type of license for whatever trade they're in. I mean, there are all kinds of people that do remodeling, like tile work, roofing, electrical, plumbing, etc. But somebody that does it as a general focus and is labeling themselves as a remodeling contractor should have a licensed building degree.
Okay, I get that. Yeah, it's scary today. You never know, So what professional associations are you in with your trade?
I'm in the National Association of Home Builders and the local chapters of Tampa Bay Builders Association. And I'm in the Remodelers Council, which is a branch of the TBBA. And I am a past member of NARI.
Okay. Got that. And any civic or volunteer organizations that you're a part of?
I do a lot of volunteer work. I'm on the Board of Licensing for Hillsborough County. I'm also a member of an advisory board for the area Agency on Aging, which is a nonprofit which directs people, but primarily seniors and disadvantaged people that are in search of the right contacts, which is very difficult in the state to find who you're supposed to talk to get the services.
Sure.
And they facilitate that very well.
Excellent. Okay. So tell me about your involvement with the Hillsborough County Board of Adjustment and Contractor Licensing.
Well, I've been a member for 14 years,
Wow.
and basically what they do is there's an 8-member seat, and they sit in once a month, and they look at cases that are against licensed contractors that have been complaints
Right.
by citizens, and also complaints against unlicensed contractors and complaints against homeowners that have been brought forth from the Hillsborough County code compliance, which means that they've done something that either required a permit and they didn't get it, or else they violated certain things that they have been found to need to change.
Okay.
And we interview the people that are brought before us, and we also sit for any license applications. Whenever they come before us, they are required to have a background check and also a credit check, so that when they're put out there in Hillsborough County, somebody can have the reassurance that they have been checked out and they're not a felon or had a lot of bad credit or taken advantage of other people.
Oh, that's good. It's good to know that there's somebody that's got your back if you're going to be having somebody come in and do work for you. It's very scary that, if somebody comes in and doesn't have these credentials. And
it's real important. Unfortunately, a lot of people do not go through the extra trouble to check that out. And it's pretty simple. You just go on myfloridalicense.com and you can see anybody that's licensed in the state of Florida and what their complaints against them, if there are any, and also how long they've been doing it, and you get a pretty good picture of what they've done, and you can check with any local licensing bureau.
Okay, so it's not a tedious process. So going to
myfloridalicense.com,
Okay,
which is state licensing website.
Okay, great. And then you'll be able to see if they are a licensed contractor with the county or the state, and then if they have any complaints.
Correct.
All right, perfect. All right, so you'll definitely want to check that out. I know that a lot of folks are getting these thing called wind mitigations and 4-point insurance inspections on their home for their insurance. Do you offer that service to people?
I do. It's not my niche, but I am licensed to do that. And the 4-point inspection is something that's going to be required of older homes. Typically, it varies according to the insurance company, but typically it's 30 or 25 years old. And what the insurance company's interest is, whether or not the home was built and subsequent remodeling or electrical upgrades or whatever were done to code. And they look at roof, what's the useful life of the roof, and they want to see at least 3 years, and obviously the longer the better.
Sure.
And obviously this is an estimate by the inspector, so certainly not infallible. But also they look at electric and plumbing and your air conditioning heating system, so that everything, in other words, if there are electrical violations, you're going to have to correct them before you're going to get homeowners insurance.
Okay.
Now, this is a mandatory inspection on older homes. The wind mitigation inspection is an optional thing that you choose to do and will be beneficial to you if you receive one of the credits, because the credits go against your insurance premium and reduce your premium. So there are several credits, and if you comply with any of them, you're going to have benefit. The typical inspection is going to be, I've seen them from $75 to $150, depending on who's doing them and how extensive they are. There are a lot of different inspectors out there, and there's obviously a lot of different quality. They should all be licensed, either home inspectors or building inspectors, or also licensed contractors.
Okay, I got that. If you'd like to get Bob to come on out to your house for an inspection on any type of remodel, or to have him do your wind mitigation and 4-point inspection, give him a call at 813-263-5632. So, Bob, how should a homeowner prepare for a visit with a trade professional? What do they have to consider when they're hiring somebody?
Well, there are lots of ways to prepare. One is simply start with a list of what you would like to do, your wish list, and then prioritize that list. And obviously, if you're going to have the project bid out, you want to have the contractor's bid on exactly the same type of scope of work. And so the key to that is paying somebody, either yourself by time or paying a contractor to develop a scope of work. And then if you want to get other bids, then you give that scope of work to other people that come to bid the job, and they're all looking at the same thing. And with a scope of work, you have some level of specifications. In other words, are you talking a $300 refrigerator or a $3,000 refrigerator? I mean, there's a variance of appliances when you're dealing with kitchens and baths, and obviously quality of flooring. Almost anything you can imagine that you do in remodeling has different levels of costs. So the important thing is when you're asking for competitive bidding to have exactly the same bid scope that they're looking at.
Okay. All right, great. Now, you shared with me previously that a great place for folks to get ideas from for their building projects is houses.com, HOUZZ.com. Tell us about that website. What kind of ideas can folks find on there?
Anything they can imagine. It's very expansive. It's right now, it's by far the most popular way to research kitchen, baths, and all types of remodeling. Design outdoor living spaces and everything you can imagine. It's actually published by Hanley Wood Magazine, which publishes all the builder, all the remodeling magazines. There's probably 20 of them, but they publish almost all of them.
Okay.
And it's very extensive. I mean, you can go get all kind of ideas. Obviously, other ways are the internet of other sites, and also Home and Garden TV, and all kind of sites that are on cable TV.
Okay, great. All right, well, that's great advice, Bob. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Go Mind Your Business on All Your Business Radio here at the TalkWad Network. My name is Terry Bork with Extreme Marketing Concepts. And, with Extreme Marketing Concepts, we market businesses, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking to you. And, when you are someone who's looking to do business with someone in the community, what's usually the first thing that you do? Well, you Google them and you look to see who's on the first page and what kind of reputation that folks have out there. Businesses typically have one of two problems. Either they have a really great reputation and no one knows about it, or they have a really bad reputation and everybody knows about it. Either way, we can fix both sides of that equation for you. Give us a call at 813-863-1452. Today, my very special guest is Bob Nixon with Nixon Construction. If you have a project in mind for 2013, give him a call at 813-263-5632. Bob loves remodeling older homes, and he loves working with elder law attorneys and a lot of seniors in the market trying to get the home into a good condition for them so that they can live comfortably. So, Bob, what areas of do you provide service in?
Well, primarily Hillsborough, Pasco, and Pinellas, and I do most of my work in Hillsborough County, but I do work on the beaches and in certain areas outside of Hillsborough and Pinellas and Pasco, like Polk occasionally.
Okay, great. Yeah, well, when I get my beach place, I know you'll be coming out there for me.
Good idea.
That's my place. It's coming. It's going to come soon.
I know.
So tell me about some of the awards that you've won.
Well, I've been, like you mentioned, named Remodeler of the Year in 2011 by the Tampa Bay Builders Association.
That's huge. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. And also won Grand Gourmet Kitchen Awards for first place for the 2012 Parade of Homes, which is the Remodelers Council has a page in there that's just remodeling projects that are judged.
Okay.
And my kitchen was judged to be the best. So
that's great.
We're
What
very
kind of
proud of
credentials do they look at when they're awarding these awards? Is there something specific that you have to meet?
Well, obviously, design is the primary functionality of the kitchen.
Okay.
I mean, the old design ways used to be where you would have work triangles, and
Right.
that's really kind of gotten away from it, particularly with all the islands and the satellite working areas that new kitchens have in a large gourmet kitchen.
Sure.
Obviously, there's still simple kitchens done,
Right.
and the premises basically stick to that triangle because you can't go wrong.
Right.
Which basically means that you work between the range, refrigerator, and the kitchen sink.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and I'm thinking about my kitchen, and you're right. It is still a triangle. It's a newer home, but without the island, it's still in some sort of a triangle
Sure.
configuration. So, but even now with the island, so if you have an island in your home, what kind of things do you do? You obviously don't want to put with an island a triangle. Kind of wouldn't work. Or does it still kind of work?
It does. It just becomes more involved. The biggest issue with islands is to make sure, particularly if you're going to have seating at the island, you need really 4 feet on either side of the island to really make it functional. Because if you try to cram an island into a smaller space, it just doesn't work, and it becomes more frustrating than functional, and just becomes a place to dump stuff. So,
Okay, I got that. Okay.
and there are lots of designs. I work with interior designers frequently, and they, in many cases, do the actual design. And they're all, if you get a good designer, like somebody that's an ASID, or which is an American Society of Interior Decorators and Designers, they know what they're doing, and they come up with an excellent design, and we build it.
Okay, cool. Any other awards? Because I know we were talking about that, and I got all excited when you were talking about islands.
Well, I've had several preservation awards. I work in a lot of historic areas, and primarily with 20s and 30s bungalow style homes, which are in Hyde Park, Seminole Heights, northeast Pinellas County, and I enjoy working on that. Now it's become more complex and complicated in the last few years with the enforcement of the lead laws, which you should have a contractor that's certified by the EPA, and it's kind of an involved and expensive process. So not everybody goes that direction, but if you're remodeling a pre-1978 house and you do not have the certification and you do not follow the guidelines, you're subject to pretty heavy fines. And it's not rigidly enforced, but if you happen to get caught, you're in for probably going out of business, because the fines can be up to $30,000 a day, $31,500, I believe. That's a lot of money.
It's a
in
lot
one
of
day.
money.
I
Yeah.
never made that much in one day, and I certainly can't afford to lose it in one day.
Right?
So.
No doubt. Me either.
And it's it can obviously put you out of business. So.
Sure.
But there's reason for that. I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm a member of the Tampa Bay Builders Association, is because the national lobbies to get some of these things enforced that are laws on the books that are creating a problem for legitimate contractors that want to comply, and people that do not. Because if we actually spend the time and the aggravation and the money to get certified and then comply with it, we're not competitive with somebody who's not.
Sure.
So it's a source of aggravation for legitimate contractors.
Right.
as is unlicensed activity.
Sure. Okay. Great. So, let's say that somebody hooks up with a contractor and they're doing a job, and then for some reason there's fallout, or then the contractor doesn't come back, or the project's just not going well, and it's like a marriage and it's just falling apart. What is there any resources for the people that are having some remodeling done in their home?
It's a good analogy, the marriage. It's so true. And if you're comfortable with your relationship with your contractor, then any little details that you don't agree on should be easily worked out. Mm-hmm. The problem is when you encounter something that wasn't completely spelled out, or an unknown that nobody could have seen.
Right.
And how do you resolve it? Well, frequently it requires a change order, which means more money. And not everybody understands that.
Sure.
Licensed contractors are not able to see through walls,
right,
in spite of what people think. And we encounter things sometimes that need to be fixed, and,
right,
and we couldn't possibly know they were in that wall. So it is a problem, but if you've got everything in your you should have a very good contract if you're a good contractor.
Right.
I mean, you don't go into a job with several $1,000s at stake and not have a clear understanding of what your responsibilities and what the homeowner's responsibilities are.
Okay.
And any contractor who is a member of any of these trade professions has access to good quality contracts which are published by attorneys and scrutinized so that they protect the homeowner, they protect the contract, and that's a fair agreement.
All right, got it. Okay. So, I've heard lots of folks say, I'm going to go buy the materials and my buddy's going to go do the labor on there. Is that advisable?
Probably not. I tend to shy away from those situations, primarily because are the people qualified to do the work? Are they licensed? In other words, if I'm doing a kitchen remodel and somebody wants to have their brother do the plumbing, if he's a licensed plumber and I get to interview him and can talk to him and find out he knows what he's doing and we're on the same page, I have worked with that circumstance. It's certainly not my favorite.
Right.
But, my plumbers know what level I expect, as do my electricians, and I have a comfort level that I want to maintain. When I'm dealing with somebody else, I don't have that comfort level. So it's something of a problem. Sometimes I'll work around it. But as far as buying materials and supplies, if you're knowledgeable enough to know what to buy and know, how to get it there, who's supplying the labor, if it's my people, we can work around it. If it's somebody else, if we have a third-party labor and the homeowner buying the materials and supplying a lot of things, that can get very confusing, and it can waste my time and waste the subcontractor's time.
Okay, I got that. So why choose you, Bob?
Well, I've been in business for over 30 years, and I have lots of satisfied customers that I can give referrals that can give references out that they can contact and certainly talk to them. And also, I am very well educated in contracting because I go way above the minimum, which is 14 hours every 2 years.
Right.
And I'm over 100 in continuing education almost every license period,
Sure.
which is good for me. I need to stay up on all the new changes. I mean, with the internet and all the different products, and I mean, the decking industry changes every month, it seems like, with different products and all types of new paints and coatings, and it's just very complex. If you don't stay educated, then you pretty much don't know what you're doing anymore.
Got that. Okay. You are listening to Go Mind Your Business on the All Your Business radio show here at the Talkwad Network. My name is Terry Bork, and we're going to take a quick commercial, and we'll be right back.
visit some of these licensing issues.
And welcome back to Go Mind Your Business here on the All Your Business radio station at the TalkWad Network. Be sure to visit all the other shows on the TalkWad Network by visiting them online at www.talkwad.com. My name is Terry Bork with Extreme Marketing Concepts. A strong online reputation is truly a gift that keeps on giving. Your online digital footprint is now your digital life resume. If you're having some trouble getting your digital life resume together, give us a call at 813-863-1452. We'll be happy to sit down with you and see what we can do to help get your phones ringing. Today on Go Mind Your Business, my very special guest is Mr. Bob Nixon with Nixon Construction. Bob's been in business in the Tampa Bay area since 1981, and in 2011, he was Tampa Bay's Remodeler of the Year. If you have some upcoming projects for Bob, give him a call at 813-263-5632. Now, Bob's not a handyman, but he is a remodeler, so he can help with remodeling your home, and he can also help you with your insurance inspections, your 4-point inspections, and your wind mitigations on your roof. So, Bob, let's talk about some of the projects that you're working on. You want to talk about those a little bit?
Currently? Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm working on 2 in South Tampa. One is water damage, where a second floor water heater pretty much blew up.
Oh, my goodness. I bet that was a mess.
Yeah. It was a very, very dirty job to clean up. Fortunately, a mold remediation contractor was called in. They have to be separately licensed to deal with mold. And after the mold remediation was completed, I was able to go in and repair everything. We're in the process of painting now. We're just about completed. So
Okay.
It involved pretty extensive drywall replacement and matching all the finishes on the 2-story balcony and restaining a lot of very delicate stair rails.
Okay, got that.
And the other job that I'm working on is, well, actually there's 2 more. There's one in Lutz that is a remodel for accessible renovations. It's a daughter that is concerned about her parents.
Okay.
And they're in their 80s and living in the house that she grew up in.
Okay.
And it's in need of complete rehaul in the bathrooms and some in the kitchen.
Okay.
And widening doors and putting in grab bars and putting in a walk-in shower so that couple is able to facilitate taking a bath with some help and without having to be dependent on other people.
Sure. That's so important. I know a lot of people, especially in today's economy, they're staying away from putting their mom and dad maybe in a nursing type facility or an assisted living facility because they really want them in the home with them. But so many homes, maybe the doors aren't wide enough to fit a wheelchair, or the cabinets aren't structured well that if you're in a wheelchair you can't reach. Maybe some dishes that the height is wrong. So you can assist and facilitate with that.
Right. There's all kinds of cabinets that are manufactured now that are pulled down, that are slide under tops, and vanities which facilitate a lot more ability to navigate the bathroom than it used to be. And one day they'll build new homes this way because there's really no reason to have to remodel. When you build a house, if you'll just make the doors wider and give some thought to design for all ages. In other words, electrical switches that can be accessed by a a child that's not full grown, and also by somebody in a wheelchair. I mean, it's just common sense. Now, aesthetically, you may sacrifice some, level of aesthetics because if you're going to place switches in different places than they're customarily placed, they may not exactly blend into the decor, but they're functional, and that's the way the home should be.
Right.
And the Certified Agent in Place Specialist certification is a collaboration of AARP, recognize the fact that most people, 85+%, prefer to stay in their homes when they age. They don't want to go to a nursing home or assisted living. They want to live in their own home.
Okay, I got that.
And in order to accommodate that, they went to the National Association of Home Builders and asked them to develop a program that would train remodelers to renovate the homes in accordance with certain design principles that were proven to be successful.
Okay.
And the certification course has trained many, many remodelers, and we have I think there's about 20 in the Bay Area now that have gone through the CAPS training.
Okay.
And
what does CAPS stand for? I'm sorry.
Certified Agent in Place Specialist.
Certified Agent in Place Specialist. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
It's all right. NARI, National Association of Remodeling Industry, also does the CAPS certifications.
Okay.
And if you have an interest in remodeling, it's important if you're trying to plan for living in your home longer to look on the website, either AARP, the National Association of Home Builders. If you just punch in your zip code, it'll come up with contractors in your area that are certified.
Okay, great. So now let's say, I have this project, mom and dad are moving in with me, and I need to put up some bars in the bathroom so that, to help them get their balance or get in and out of the bathtub, and I need to maybe do some remodeling in the kitchen to give them easy access to things. What kind of steps do you need as a remodeler me to take to prepare for you and get ready for you?
Well, the biggest step is just to have a frank conversation with your parents.
Oh, okay. So it's not with you. It's with my
well,
folks.
Well, they may not be receptive to that, believe it or not.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there are cases when they just say, well, I don't need that. I mean, I've done trade shows where we had people come by in walkers and think they didn't need any kind of assistance.
Okay.
So,
parents are funny.
Well, I mean, I've had a lot of cases where baby boomers approached me with doing a project on their parents' house, and when we approached the parent without them having done a pretty good job of educating what they were trying to do, then the parents were rebellious. I mean, they didn't think they needed that, and they weren't ready to admit it, whether they did or not. So, so that's part of the process is communicating with whoever you're trying to help.
Okay.
And making sure they understand that it's beneficial for them before you even bring a remodeler into the situation, because our job is not to convince somebody they need something. Our job is to say, you understand you need it, so here's how we can facilitate you getting around this home better and for longer periods of time.
Okay.
So it's an educational process amongst your family. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that really helps, So is there, when mom and dad are receptive to having you come in and sit down and working with them, is there questions that you can say, based on your experience, we might recommend this or recommend that, because they may not understand all the options that could be available to them.
Exactly. And I have a complete checklist when I sit down with a client. We prioritize what their concerns are, kitchen or bath or all the above, or entries. I mean, like the whole principle of universal design is being able to access the home from the exterior, in and out egress, and also being able to get around the homes easily so that you can, do your normal things, ways of life, without having to struggle to do it.
Okay.
And, if you're in a wheelchair, and you're bumping into walls or it's just,
yeah, they don't want to be
you can't
doing
get
that.
through a door very easily, and you're scraping your arms or hands or whatever.
Sure.
It's time to do something to facilitate your mobility.
Sure.
And it's always a real good idea to really spend a lot of upfront planning time.
Okay.
I mean, just like even when I do a remodel of a bathroom for any level of age, I always put in dead wood in the shower. If we're tearing the shower out, I always put backing in there that's going to support adequately grab bars. So if somewhere down the road the people need grab bars or want to put them in, the
Right.
backing is already there.
All right, you certainly don't want the handle coming off when you're trying to grab it because you need a balance.
And that happens when you have someone that doesn't install grab bars correctly. You're actually maybe worse off than if you didn't have the grab bars, if you rely on them and they're not sturdy, and also if they come out of the wall, which happens. So,
right,
got to be careful about what you do and who does it.
Okay. So got that. Okay, that's tremendous advice. Thank you. Now, are you just working on the inside of the home, or can you help somebody, maybe with the front walk on the outside of their home as well? So if there's a wheelchair situation, they'll be able to maybe get into the house with greater ease of access?
Right. Well, obviously, depending on the style of the home, a ranch home is a lot easier to navigate generally. I mean, you have a smaller transition between grade level and which may be 8 inches. Whereas if you're dealing with an older bungalow-style house, you may have as much as 24 or 30 inches difference between grade and the floor level in the interior.
Right.
So, I mean, ramps is one solution. There are a lot of different types of ramps. You can build something that blends in with a home when it's a 20s or 30s older home. Or you can, there are a lot of products out there, and once again, the Internet's a great place to look at them.
Got it.
And just go on a portable ramp. You can buy those and use them. They're aluminum, and they come in sections, and they're shipped to your home. And they're actually comparably priced to building a nice ramp. And when you're done, if you don't need them anymore, you can sell them. Whereas if you build a wooden ramp and
there it is.
Yeah, I mean, and then you have to pay to tear it up or tear it up yourself. So
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, there are a lot of solutions, a lot of choices. It's not a slam dunk. This is the right answer thing.
Sure, I got that. Okay, cool. Now tell us about the 2013 Tampa Bay Parade of Homes.
Well, it'll be coming out, and actually they're doing the publication, and Parade of Homes will be in March, and the focus of the magazine is primarily home builders.
Okay.
And but the Remodelers Council does have their own page in there, and I'm fortunate enough to be one of the ones that is involved in it
very
again.
cool.
So
okay.
And this year I'm either putting. I haven't decided yet. I have to do that in the next week or so. Whether I'm gonna put a wine room in or an exterior deck and an outdoor kitchen.
Okay.
That we did. That is pretty fabulous. So.
Okay. Okay, so you don't, a remodel just doesn't have to be because you have maybe a handicap or a senior in your home. You're remodeling also for, folks that want the wine room or, to revamp, kids are in college and they want, I don't know, the studio that they always want or the workout room or whatever it is that someone wants to remodel.
There are all kinds of special projects now. I mean, from, like you mentioned, studio or media rooms. I mean, it's just all over the place. I mean, there's no such thing as a general remodel anymore. It's either an elaborate kitchen or a extravagant outdoor kitchen or deck or a gazebo. It's all over the place. So.
Oh, so the wine room sounds like it's going to be a big fun project for you.
Yes. The last one I did was a couple years ago, and it's very, very good customer. One of the thing about these projects that you enter into these competitions, they're fun to do because the people have great ideas and design work is brought in, some professional design, and you get to do projects that they have a budget,
Uh-huh.
but it's flexible.
Sure.
And when somebody has a passion for wine, when they want to show off 900 bottles of
Sure.
wine, it's a fun project. So.
Sure.
But it's you got to get the thing right too, because it's going to be embarrassing if it doesn't work.
Sure. Right. Well, that's very true.
It's complex insulation and mechanicals. So.
Okay, got it. If you want to put that wine room in your home, give Bob a call. He's happy to help sit down with you and put something together, or whatever room, rumpus room, or any other kind of project that you've got going on in your home. He's happy to at least sit down and chat with you and let you know what it would take to put that together. You can reach him at 813-263-5632. So, Bob, let's talk about, when you are coming in and you're doing a remodel and, I don't know, you rip out the wall and there's the damage. What's, it could be water, it could be bugs, termites. In Florida here, what's typically a process? Obviously, that's that nobody knew because you're not Superman. You can't see through the wall. What's typically a process that has to happen now?
Well, you mentioned the termites, which happens frequently in the older homes.
Sure.
And obviously, if you discover that they're in the wall, then the first step is to get a licensed professional pest control person to come in there and verify that they're not living. I mean, is this old damage, new damage,
Sure.
or current damage? So that would be the first step. And once that's determined, you'll have a protocol on how to fix it after that. And the first protocol is discussing with the homeowner the extra cost, because
Right.
It's obviously going to cost more money to do what you're going to do.
Right.
Since we have rotted wood.
And you just can't put the wall back there knowing that it's back there, right? You just if it's active damage or there's water and it's a problem, you just can't cover it up and go,
Right.
oh, we won't tell. No.
There's no
That's bad.
undo
Okay.
button there.
No,
so.
okay, good. Okay, great. So, you want to make sure you're working with an ethical company, and obviously someone like yourself is very ethical, is going to do the right thing.
And besides that, you want to know that they'll know who the right person is to do the investigative work. I mean,
Right.
we mentioned mold earlier. I'm not certified to do any mold work.
Sure.
I mean, once I encounter that, I tell the homeowner, they're free to contact their insurance company if it's significant, or hire their own mold person. I have a couple that I can give them names of that I trust. And after that, the mold remediation has to come in, and if it's severe, then they probably need to get a clearance test by another third party, which is independent of remediation contractor.
Right.
And so that ensures to the homeowner that everything's done correctly and that the air quality is good enough to pass the test.
Okay.
And after that is done, then the work can commence in terms of putting it back together.
Sure.
So.
Okay, I got that. All right. Well, Bob, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about Nixon Construction, or that we didn't talk about, or how you can help them, or what you're looking for specifically?
Well, I'm looking for an opportunity to do remodeling, and I have a track record of success and reliability.
Yes.
And I am on the job every day. And I have gotten to the point where I don't do the work anymore, but I make sure that it's done correctly, and I make sure that any licensed subs, like mechanical, which is air conditioning,
Right.
and electric and plumbing, are quality, clean professionals that keep current on the codes and do good work.
Sure.
And I supervise it to make sure that happens.
Okay, great. And they'll definitely want to give you a call then and let you know about whatever project they have going on. And if you have a question for Bob, or if the marriage with your current remodeler is not working, he's happy to at least talk to you, maybe find out a little bit about your project and let you know how to go from there. And you can give him a call at 813-263-5632. And again, if you are looking to hire a contractor, remember to go online and go visit What's the name of that website one more time?
MyFloridaLicense.com.
MyFloridaLicense.com. And you can just make sure that any contractor that you're selecting is out there. And of course, if you're looking for a reference, I recommend Bob. His work is brilliant. The quality of time and effort and that he puts into his projects definitely show. Especially being Builder of the Year back in 2011, and I know he's got some entries coming up so for this 2013, so we'll be on the lookout for that. I wish you luck with your wine project and in all of your remodels of homes, Bob. I really appreciate you coming out and spending some time with us today here on Go Mind Your Business.
Thank you for having me today.
Oh, it's been great. Again, Go Mind Your Business is brought to you today by Extreme Marketing Concepts, putting your business in front of the hungry herd of buyers who are looking for you right now. Give them a call at 813-863-1452. You've been listening to Go Mind Your Business on the All Your Business radio station here at the Talkwad Network. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you right next time. And until then, go mind your business. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Oh, no, we did.
I mean, I said I couldn't.
Thank you for listening to Go Mind Your Business with Terry Bork, presented by Extreme Marketing Concepts. If you want to drive more traffic, dominate the market, and crush your competition, find out how by visiting our website, www.extrememarketingconcepts.com. And join Terry next time for another episode of Go Mind Your Business.